Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be filming a tag video. It is the 4 Elements tag. And I was tagged by Cherie from the channel The Top Notes. Really great channel. Her version of this was fantastic. She chose 2 fragrances to represent each of the 4 elements, which of course are water, earth, fire and air. So definitely go and check her video out. I'm just picking the 4, keeping it simple. And as you can see, I'm going to try and bring a little bit of each element to each fragrance. I'm not going to be setting the house on fire or anything like that. And as you can see, we're going to start off with water, my favourite element. So let's just dive straight into the first one, which of course is water. And my fragrance that I've chosen to represent water is Sydney Rockpool by Artiste. Now if the name doesn't give that away, the notes certainly will, because it is packed full of notes that would make you feel that you're sitting by the seaside. And this is the best representation I've got in my collection to represent water. And I love being near the sea. I'm not a great swimmer, but I love being sort of connected to the sea somehow. So Sydney Rockpool is a luxury salty fragrance. It is very, very salty, in fact. There's even a sea salt accord in here. There's a skin accord in here, which I think is meant to make you feel like you've got that lovely warm salty skin. It has mineral notes, it has a note of coconut, there is sandalwood, driftwood, frangipani, there's amber tonic, whatever that is, and also seaweed. So you're getting the idea here that you are at the seaside. It's not that creamy, tropical, sunscreen, lotion kind of scent at all. This is very realistic, being in a salty, seaweedy rock pool. It's a very mineral smelling fragrance, it really is. You get that salty pebble scent. You've got that creamy undertone from sandalwood, and there's a slight softness from those sort of frangipani, jasmine florals as well. It does have a luxurious side to this, but for the most part it is a very strong, salty, beachy, aquatic, oceanic fragrance, just leaning very, very salty and very minerally. It feels luxurious somehow, and that is my one to represent water. So that is Sydney Rockpool by Artiste. Okay guys, so next up we have the element of earth, and I have chosen the fragrance of Jo Malone, which is English oak and hazelnut. So while I'm sitting here on the cold ground, actually in front of a foxhole in my garden, this is a really lovely fragrance actually. It's not particularly heavy earthy, it's actually quite fresh. There's only 3 notes in here that I can find at least, and that is oak, hazelnut and cedar. And this to me reminds me of sitting under an oak tree in autumn in the morning, because it's something refreshing about it, like very morning-y. And there's something in here that reminds me of pickles. I don't know what it is, it's like a pickled hazelnut, which sounds really bizarre, but it does. That's what it reminds me of, like a weird cologne splash-on kind of a scent, but hazelnutty. So it's nutty and woody, but it's not particularly heavy. And I like that it's quite a easy-wearing fragrance, and it actually works really well in both the autumn and the spring. I wore it a lot actually in spring, and I've just started to pick it up and stop wearing it again. This one represents earth best to me, because it makes me feel like I'm literally sitting under an oak tree. Yeah, on an autumn morning with the brown, gold and red leaves all around me. It has a crisp coldness with a very woody, nutty, fresh vibe, I suppose. So that is my choice for earth, and that is English oak and hazelnut by Jo Malone. So the next element is air. And in the air today, on this sunny Sunday, late afternoon, are these absolutely stunning cloud formations. And I am a bit of a sucker for staring at the clouds and just admiring them and their beauty. So while we admire this really beautiful view from a very small part of Surrey, we can also talk about the next fragrance, which represents air. And I've chosen one from Ormond Jane. This is Privé. And this is the most airy, tranquil and peaceful fragrance. It's such a weightless beauty. It's packed full of gorgeous notes, but to name a few, we've got rice, we've got orris, very sort of rooty orris, pink pepper, we've got coriander, sage, petitgrain. It's like having a divine puff of air float up that smells slightly creamy, slightly peppered, slightly aromatic, and on that scented air there's this breeze of fresh freesia and mandarin, which gives it, even more beauty and a bit of sparkle. One thing this fragrance always reminds me of is a rice pudding, a creamy rice pudding with lashings of nutmeg, because that's a spice that I really can smell in this, although it's not listed. It's very nutmeggy, but it's a rice pudding that's been made hours ago, so it's in the air. It's a creamy rice, peppered nutmeg rice pudding in the air. That's what I always think of when I smell this. But like I say, it is absolutely beautiful, very airy, very peaceful, and that is my fragrance to represent the element of air. So finally, the last element is fire. And the fragrance I've chosen might seem a little cliche, but it is very fitting, and it was the perfect choice for this element. Now I've chosen Maison France's Coquelin Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait de Parfum. This perfume is literally a perfume paradox. It is a glow with sweet and spicy and salty, woody and creamy. It's dry and luminous. It's got a lot going on. But the concept behind this fragrance is why I've chosen it for fire. Now Baccarat is actually a mark of crystal. It's a French premier manufacturer of luxurious lead crystal. And the Baccarat, when burning at 540 degrees, glows red like this beautiful red glass. And that is the inspiration behind Baccarat Rouge 540 and of course the Extrait. So the Extrait, much like its predecessor, the Parfum, is a burnt candy floss scent. It's a strong, rich, burnt sugar like candy floss. But the Extrait, to me, has so much more of a refined nature, and it is more multifaceted, it's more interesting. And it's smoother as well, and it has a beautiful spiciness from saffron. It has saltiness from this really strong note of ambergris. And it's got that luxurious woody creamy base from cedar and almond. It's very confident, it's very loud, it's very luminous, and it is the perfect fragrance to choose for the element of fire. So that is Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait de Parfum by Maison France's Coquelin. And there you have it, guys. Those are the 4 fragrances to represent the 4 elements. So just to recap, we have water, earth, air and fire. And of course, this is a tag video, so I do need to tag some people. Those are the rules. So as there are 4 elements, I'm going to tag 4 individuals. Mr. Jon Snow from Scented Snowdrops, Scott from the Centurion, Andreas from Severus Fragrance, and the lovely Claire from SmurfyGurly. Let me know what 4 fragrances you'd pick for the 4 elements, and I will see you on my next one. Take care, guys. Over and out. No cat! Nim! Don't you dare go out there! You're such a sausage. Why can't you